It's Sunday night, and this is the Conjugal Visit on KGFRocks.com.
Yeah, it's the Conjugal Visit Show. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, welcome to the show. Kick ass, man. It's another Sunday night, and I'm here with my good friend, Guido, the king of all things rock and roll. How you doing today, Guido?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Colder than a well digger's ass. It is cold. You ever see a well digger with his, plumber's cleavage hanging out? Yeah, you wouldn't see it on a day like today, motherfucker. I tell you what, it was cold. You're gonna ask me how cold was it?
How cold was it?
It was so fucking cold I couldn't even speak, man. It took your breath away. That's how cold it was, man. I mean, it just, oh my God, you step out into it. It was just good. The high temperature today was 19, which I know for you that's mild, okay?
Yes, it
that's
is.
like a fucking heat wave for you. But for me, that's friggin' cold. Let's see, our average temperature so far this winter was 49 degrees, over
Wow.
50 degrees. So when you get temperatures at 12 degrees, last night's wind chill was a negative 7 degrees.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was cold. And we didn't get any of that snow they were calling. They called for snow. They called for snow. We got nothing, man.
Well, we're getting a big storm now. It's actually coming. You go to the stores, and there's nothing
On the shelves.
there. Nothing on the shelves.
So you're going to
At
get
all.
a big storm. They're calling for a big one. But,
Yes.
uh,
And it's supposed to be bad, but who knows? They always say that, and it never ends up bad.
never ends up bad. Well, yeah, and the same thing for us, too. I think the weather people got their heads up their ass completely. I mean, like the flood here that we had recently, they missed the boat on that one, man. They completely missed it. And we set records, man. Oh, this isn't going to be a record-setting event.
Right.
And turns out they're shutting down all of the highways, and people are stuck in traffic jams for hours at a time. And by the way, I did get someone hit me on Facebook, and they were stuck in a traffic jam during the flood. And guess what they were listening to?
What's that?
KGFRocks.com. They listened to KGFRocks.com for an entire 2 hours while stuck in traffic. I think that's
Wow.
amazing.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, because he was stuck on the road, and he owns a new Chevrolet, which all the GMs now have Wi-Fi in their vehicles now that you buy, and he's got a brand new one, and he was driving home, and normal drive time for him was 15 minutes. Took him 2 hours and 45 minutes to get home. so and he listened to KGFRocks.com all the way home, and we do appreciate that, definitely. And we've hit the 1,000 mark for the Conjugal Visit, man.
That's
Over
great,
1,000.
man.
Oh, yeah, just unbelievable. And it goes to our guests. Tonight is no different. We got Sean Huguenin on tonight, and it's going to be a big shoe. And actually, he's going to be talking to us. He's a minister at a hospital, and he is on call tonight. And so he will be talking to us from the hospital.
Wow.
He will be talking to us from the hospital.
So he's sick, and he's still going to do the show.
He's still going to do the show. What a trooper. He's not feeling good. He's under the weather. And but we're very happy to have him on tonight. And we'll be bringing him in shortly. Very, very shortly. My understanding is we've talked about this in the past, Guido, about how small radio station like ours are in
Mhm.
a bit of trouble, and it's come to my attention that 365 Live is gone.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's completely gone yet, but it's on its way out. If it's not.
Yeah, they're going to be closing their doors here shortly. They have very few clients left because, let's face it, they just basically cannot afford to stay on the air.
No, I mean with this new rate increase and all that, it's just a bitch for everybody, and it sucks because what we do is a lot better than everybody else.
Oh, definitely,
You know,
definitely. I mean, a lot of folks says, it's just a hobby, blah blah blah. No, it takes a lot of hard work to put together one of these stations. I think we talk about this too much sometimes, but
hmm
it's what we do, man. I mean, it's all a part of what we are, and so we're depending on the listeners, man. So we really look to the listeners for what we need. Pretty cool. Anyway,
and you
so
know what? It's a good thing we're trying to stay alive, and the people out there we're gonna be doing. I don't want to say a fundraiser because it's not a fundraiser, a donation drive because of things that did happen. We paid for everything out of our pocket, but now they're raising the rates astronomically. So we might need your help, folks.
yeah, and if you want to donate now, that's great. You just go to the website www.kgfrocks.com and go in and click on the donate button and give what you can. Give as much for a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Go without that cup of coffee. They say the coffee is never mind. They say it's good for you. They say it's bad for you. You never know what it's going to be. I understand it's good for you. I'm still kicking it. I drink coffee every day. But if you go to the donate button, click on it, give us $5, give us $10, whatever you can afford. It helps keep the station alive. And if you guys can do that for us, we really do appreciate it. But coming in March, you're right. We're going to be doing a marathon of a deluge, as it were, on our listeners to get them to listen to us and
Yeah.
also to help us stay alive. So it's coming in March, and we're going to be giving away all kinds of nifty stuff, anywhere from a name recognition on the air to actually doing a host on the conjugal visit, which would be very cool. I mean,
Yes, it is.
we get to, you get to do some reading and you get to do some interviewing with the guest that's on the air, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, and that's going to go towards a higher end donation, but we hope that you guys can join us for that. And
Yeah,
we
we
dig it.
do.
We dig it a lot. We really do. So, you been watching the football, man? Or are you just done with football because your boys are out of it this year?
Exactly. I don't
You're
want
done
it.
with it. You done with it?
I'm done.
Well, you just need to know. Just need to know that it'll be okay, and that Buffalo will come back. They will be back, my friend.
Yes, they will.
My Chiefs went down to Houston and kicked their ass. I
Well,
love it.
the thing with Buffalo too is that Rex Ryan was told, and Doug Wiley, their whatever his the guy that picks the players, that if they don't get into playoffs next year, they both are out of a job.
Oh, so they gave him a heads up.
Right.
And looks like it's the Rams are gone. They're leaving St. Louis. Thank God.
Well, I
Goodbye.
heard that's not definite, dude, because 3 teams applied for the Los Angeles spot, and only
Right.
one's getting it.
Only one's going to get it.
Right.
And I think it's going to be the Rams. The Rams are the more traditional LA team.
Right.
And they're going to go back. They're not
Well,
staying
they
in
were
St.
the
Louis.
true LA team.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know.
it was the Rams. The
Right.
Los Angeles Rams were the only team in LA, and that was it. And I miss those days. I mean, LA should have a football team. Uh, it's just because the people of California don't want to build stadiums which is their right to do. I mean, they don't want to build stadiums. They don't want to pay for it. It's because their property tax is through the roof.
I know,
mean,
it's
oh my
crazy.
God, it's like 18% of what your home is worth. Every year you got to pay out, and none of that goes towards building a football stadium. And, not everybody gets to go to the football game, believe it or not. Not everybody gets to go to a football game. It's expensive. And so those people who pay personal property tax that are broke dick all the time, where do I benefit by having a football team in town? And it's the same thing here in St. Louis. I mean, a lot of people just can't go to the games. They can't afford to go to the games. And they say, you want me to build a new stadium for what? So that I can spend $150 per person to go watch a football game and freeze my ass off? Forget it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, see, here the fans of Buffalo are different, though. We haven't been to the playoffs since like '99, and we still sell out games, and we still are the fans still spend money. I mean, it's these small market teams that are better, I think, in a way, because the big market teams, you lose, they don't want you.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true.
Like New York Giants. When the New York Giants are losing, their stadium's empty.
Yeah.
The Bills, they could be 2-14, and they got at least 3-4 sellouts.
Yeah, that's true. That is very, very true. I mean, most of the time, you get cities like Jacksonville, they're selling out games in Jacksonville, but the team sucks. So where's all the money going?
That's a good question, and it's the same thing within a couple other cities too, where they're broke and this games sell out. But it goes to show you owners get most of the money.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. The players do get most of the money, and the owners.
Right.
But still, I mean, you'd think that they would make a trade that's beneficial for the team, or to bring someone in that's ready to play football. And they don't. They just, it's pretty simple. It's cut and dry. They don't. And there's no getting around it. And most teams that lose, most cities that lose a team, it is for fan support.
It is.
Yeah, it's for fan support.
So, and the lack of fan support in that case.
Yeah, or the lack of. Yeah. And a lot of people are like me. It's a shame that we're losing an NFL team, but as far as I'm concerned, Stan Kroenke can kiss my ass.
Is he still the owner? I thought it was the woman that owned it.
No, Georgia Frontier passed away, and then Stan took the team over completely. He was already in control of the team. The only reason they moved to L.A. was, first of all, they wouldn't build a stadium for him. Ha, ha, ha. And secondly, Georgia wanted to come home. This was her hometown. And she wanted to come home, so she brought her team home. Hey, look, she brought us, 3 Super Bowl championships? I mean, or 2 championships and another visit to the Super Bowl. So they brought us some good times. But at the same time, now that she's gone, community services are down. They don't participate in the community and stuff like that. So it's not cool. It's just not cool. I'm glad to see him go. I really am glad to see them go.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Well, you don't like them anyways.
Oh no, I'm not a Rams fan. Never was. I'm a Chiefs fan. I've been a Chiefs fan since I was a kid. I've always been a Chiefs fan.
But you live closer to St. Louis, correct?
I'm in St. Louis. I'm basically in the bi-state area. I'm right there, St. Louis. But I've traveled to Kansas City a couple times to go see games when I'm able to get free tickets. I damn sure can't afford to buy tickets.
Well, your Chiefs won in dramatic fashion.
Oh yeah, they kicked ass, man. They went down there and into Houston and whooped their butts.
They did.
Kicked their asses, and you can check it out. I don't know if do you know if I stopped watching the game. But do you know if the Redskins lost to Green Bay?
Yes, the Redskins lost to Green Bay. I think they got well. They were. I don't know about that because I stopped watching it. Let me check. They were losing, and like 30-19 or something like that. You know what the funny part is? I didn't even know the fucking Redskins were even that good this year enough to be in the playoffs.
They're 9-7.
Oh Jesus! And that pisses me off. But the whole NFL structure, because you know you're 9-7, and there's teams on the other side that are like 10-6 or 11-5, and they don't make it because the 9-7 team made it. It should just be whoever the best records are, you know.
It should be.
But it's not. And right now, that's coming up. Green Bay won 35-18.
So all four road teams won in the first round. Kansas City went to Houston and won. Pittsburgh went to Cincinnati and won.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota lost to Seattle. Seattle was on the road. And now Green Bay went to Washington and beat them. So all four road teams won today or this
That's
weekend.
unusual.
It is unusual. I think that's I've never seen that. But we have had. I think wasn't it Baltimore that went to the Super Bowl, and they were on the road through the whole playoffs. I think they went to the Super Bowl and won it,
Right.
and they were on the road the whole time. They, so, hey, home field advantage, so be it. I mean, you never know.
I know. It doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
The point of it is whoever the better team wins.
Right. Well, that's true. That's true. Actually, we're kind of stretching time here, folks. I'm trying to. We're checking it. Mary Jane's supposed to be here any minute.
She'll be here. And I was just reading some things to get some info here, so I was kind of quiet there. But my vocal ability is back now. So.
Oh, okay. Your vocal ability is back now. Okay.
So what is Mary Jane up to? I know she, she was not with us last week. She couldn't make it.
Well, yeah, she was out with family and friends for dinner, and she just couldn't make it, and she didn't get back in time. And she sends her profound apologies, not to you and me, Guido, because we're both
Right.
assholes, but to our listeners. We did miss her last week. We had some open space there that we had to kill, and it was kind of rough, man. It's almost like tonight, kind of, sort of, but we'll be all right. So, hey, listen, what do you know about women, man? What do you know about women?
Women?
Yeah, what do you know?
They're emotional.
Mm-hmm.
They're moody.
Mm-hmm.
They're a pain in the ass sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I love them.
I wouldn't have it any other way, right?
That's right. We're yin and yangs.
We're yin and yang. That's right. We are Martians, and they are Venetian. They're Venusian. They're from Venus. Women are from Venus, and we don't speak Venusian.
No, we don't.
We don't speak Venusian. They love to throw hints your way. They don't want to tell you what it's all about, but they'll throw you hints. Are you hungry? No, hon, I'm not hungry. And then you drive on, and then she gets all pissed off. Well, hon, you asked me if I was hungry. You didn't tell me you were hungry. Otherwise, I'd have stopped.
Right.
And she asked you, do you want a cup of coffee? No, I'm fine. I've had my fill. And you just keep on driving. You keep on driving. About 20 minutes later, she's all pissed off at you, and you're wondering why. And say, well, what's going on? She says, well, you didn't stop for coffee. I said, well, I didn't know you wanted any. You didn't tell me. Women, I'm telling you, women. It's just like this. She's putting on her makeup, I think, is what she's doing.
Who's that?
Mary Jane.
Oh, she's going to come on the video?
Oh, no. She's not doing video. She's not doing the video thing.
Why not?
She can see us, but we can't see her.
I know. It's crazy. But you know what? It's okay, because we know what she looks like.
Yeah, we know. Okay, she's telling me she's ready. So let's without further ado, let's bring in Mary Jane.
Is she here?
She's coming. It's a slow process. She's not picking up. I love that pic of her, man. That's a hot pic.
Hello.
Hi, Mary
Hello.
Jane. How are you?
I'm good. How are you boys doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We missed you last week.
I know. I'm sorry about that. I ended up going out to dinner with my dad and just got home late, so I apologize for that.
That's okay. That's okay. You know how patient we are. I mean, and we're so freaking laid back. It's not. It's not even funny.
I love you guys.
I
You guys
love
are
you
good
too.
to me.
We love you too. So, what you been up to? You been okay?
I've been doing good, just, working and token and living life.
Living, working, and token,
And living life.
and living life.
It sounds like a Steve Miller song.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm a
who
joker.
song?
A
The
Steve Miller
Joker?
song.
Oh, I'm a smoker. I'm a joker. I'm a midnight toker.
Yeah.
I heard
love-
some guy. I seen a video of a guy do a rap to that one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It wasn't bad. I mean, I'm not a rap fan, but it was pretty good. You know, the Joker in rap.
I have to listen to that cover.
Yeah,
Yeah, I never
think
heard
it's on
that.
YouTube. It's on YouTube. I'm sure you can find it. Yeah, I'm a joker. I'm a smoker. Midnight toker.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not a rap.
So, Mary Jane, what do you got in store for us tonight? What weather? Where are we going to do the weather?
We are going to do the weather in Glasscock, Louisiana.
Glasscock.
That's not real.
Yes, it is. Look it up.
It's Glasscock. It's spelled
Yep.
the way it sounds.
Yep, Glasscock, Louisiana.
The home of crystal dildos.
Woo, woo, ladies.
Woohoo, ladies! In a state where I think dildos are illegal. Glasscock, Louisiana.
Yeah,
Okay,
so the
okay.
weather in Glasscock, Louisiana, tonight right now, it's a low of 26 degrees, so it's very chilly. So be sure to keep your glass cocks warm, nice and warm underneath the blanket, ladies, for sure. It is a cold one tonight. Tomorrow, it'll be a high of 50, and then the low in the 30s, and pretty much for the rest of the week, high 50s, lows 30s. And about Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Glasscock will be getting some rain, so it'll be pretty wet.
Oh, cool. Perfect. Perfect for a glasscock. There's got to be moisture.
There's got to be moisture.
There's
So
got to be moisture somehow.
Yeah, right.
that is the weather in Glasscock, Louisiana, folks.
Glasscock, Louisiana. Great city. Great city. Yeah, the home of Glasscock.
Have you
Louisiana.
ever visited Glasscock?
No, I never have.
You've never visited Glasscock. They got it. You can get them offline. Oh, you're talking about the city. I've seen those crystal dildos before.
Yeah, no, I have. I always wanted to get one. I just never did.
You never
No.
No.
No, they look
Well, maybe
Yeah.
maybe you can get a KGF one.
right.
That'd be
Get the
cool.
look. You guys could pass it out to all the ladies.
Yeah, that'd be a great gift for our
Yeah.
for our charity for our fundraiser.
Well, there you go. You can sell them for $19.99 a
It'll
piece.
play it'll play We Will Rock You while you use it.
that
Yeah, very
would
cool.
that would be perfect.
So you're in the electronics age, though, aren't you, Mary Jane?
What do you mean the electronics age?
Well, the ones where you don't have to work so hard. The phallics that you don't have to work so hard.
Oh, like vibrators and stuff.
Yeah.
Remote control. Oh yeah, those are nice.
Those are nice.
Takes all the work out of it.
Oh, it's a lot better than what the women started off with. I believe they used to use wooden ones.
Ooh.
Can you imagine sticking a wooden dildo up your twatty? You get splinters. It would so suck.
Yeah, it would be
Yeah.
very uncomfortable, I can imagine. And especially if you left one behind and the guy came in and
Oh, geez.
ouch.
Yeah,
That's
that'd be
never
horrible.
good. That's never good. That would
No,
that would that'd send me running.
cock and splinter.
Yeah, cock and splinter. Yeah, it's a new disease, folks.
Yeah,
And what did the doctor say when you went to go see him
it's a
about your
city.
splinter in your dick?
Well,
You moron. So
you'd be surprised a
That
lot.
that sounds
Women are crazy.
like a yeah,
I
they
was
are.
they'll stick about anything up, just like you men will take your cocks and stick them in any kind of hole. Women
well,
will stick foreign objects up there. Crazy ladies.
Yeah,
crazy ladies. Well,
I got
I don't.
stuck in a shampoo bottle once.
And I believe that.
You got stuck in a shampoo bottle once?
Yeah, when I was like 12.
That must have been fun. So,
Yeah,
so what
you
did
got
your
to use
mom
the
say?
conditioner bottle
I
because then nobody will know. They leave no evidence.
leave no evidence.
That's
So what did your mom say when she caught you with the shampoo bottle on your dick? I gotta ask.
how'd you,
I didn't say I got caught. I got it
Oh,
stuck and I got it unstuck.
oh, you
So
got it unstuck on your own.
yeah, but I did have a friend one time who his mom. This is a true story. They had to call the ambulance, and the ambulance came because she was masturbating with a cucumber and it broke off inside of her.
Hey, have you seen
And
that show that said "Sex Sent Me to the ER"? They've got a show
no,
on TLC called
actually, I've seen an episode and a girl, she got a Coke bottle stuck up there.
yeah,
why?
yeah.
That was horrible.
She using a Coke bottle as a phallic device and a dildo, and it got stuck up in there. Now I did see the one where she gave the woman in the story gave her old man a reach around and punctured a nut. And a surprising amount, a lot of blood came out of that.
Well, I saw the. Listen to this. Listen to this. I saw this thing on the internet today. It's a video, and it's a guy, a German carpenter invented this. It goes inside the man, and it's a switch on it, and he could touch his belly, and it switches the switch off, and it makes him not his. It makes him like what is it? Not be able to come. Like he won't get anybody pregnant. Rather.
What?
And then you flip the switch back, and then you're virile again.
So it's male birth control.
Pretty much.
Interesting.
And the thing about it that's weird is it says once you click it, it automatically makes you safe from not being able to get somebody pregnant. But it takes up to 3 months for you to be able to regenerate the other way.
Oh, so it actually it kills the sperm. You still ejaculate, you still have an orgasm, but you just can't get anybody pregnant. You can't inseminate someone. Oh, that's interesting.
Right.
Is it painless?
You could still do it. You could still do it. I didn't really read it. It was just a short video of how they're looking for research money to do it, and it's like a $3,300 process. It's cost $3,000, and they put this little electrodes in there. I guess it electrically stimulates it so that it'll kill it. And it's a switch. It's an actual on and off switch that it's like on your pelvis area or something, and you could feel the switch inside you, and you just click it, and it goes off.
That's weird.
I'm not lying. It's true. I just saw it today.
The things they
I
come
will
up
find the
with.
video. I know, and it's male birth control pretty much. But the thing about it is okay. Say you're out with your girlfriend or whoever, and you don't want to have a kid, but now you decide you want to have a kid. Now you got to wait up to 3 months to be able to do that again, for it to repopulate itself or whatever. But
so it
I don't know.
drastically reduces your sperm count.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know the whole thing. The video just showed exactly like what it did. It wasn't like some dude doing it. It was like a computer simulated thing, and
Okay.
it didn't say anything else after that. Like, they did. I don't know. It was just I just saw it. I'll have to find it, and I will share it.
Okay, share it.
Well,
Yeah.
let's hope they have some funding for it, because I think it would be a good idea if men could have their own birth control.
So,
Right.
so birth control. Let me ask you this, Mary Jane. Birth control. Is it? You feel that it's both partners' responsibility for birth control, don't you?
I Well, I think it's the responsibility of the person who's having sex, whether you're male or female. If you're gonna be having sexual intercourse, then yes, you need to be responsible, and you need to always carry a condom or, be on your birth control, whatever it is that you need to protect yourself from sexually transmitted diseases and
especially sex
children.
with strangers, right? I mean,
Right.
Guys should wear a condom. If you're gonna have sex with someone you really don't know, I mean, seriously, wear a condom, right?
Well, you should always wear a condom. I think even if you're in a serious relationship, until you're in a situation where you completely trust your partner and you know that they are not gonna get you sick.
I know a lot of people who made the mistake. And it wasn't that they got sick. They ended up having a paternity suit against them, and they had to pay through the nose for a child that was not wanted to begin with.
Yeah.
It's hard to say not wanted.
What about hear this story? What about paying or paternity money or child support, whatever, to a woman that raped you?
Now,
well, it does happen. Women, I mean, even with domestic violence, women can get crazy on the men.
Now, wait. I find it hard to believe that a man can get an erection being raped. I could, if some chick was raping me, first of all, she wouldn't have to rape me. All she got to do is ask. But if she was raping me,
just blow on it.
I mean,
well, there's a big difference. Okay, if say you're passed out or you get roofied, okay, there's nothing to say that a man can't get roofied, and there's nothing to say that while you're roofied you can't get a hard on, because all you got to do is blow on mine and it's hard. So, I mean, what's the difference if I'm passed out?
Okay, I don't. You're right. I guess it would be rape. It would be.
Would that be rape if they're passed out and the chick just climbed on board?
Well, okay, I don't know if it would be.
Yes, it would be rape.
It would be non-consensual sex for sure.
No, it would be rape if a girl passed out and she didn't want to have sex with me and I had sex with her. I'm going to jail for being a rapist. It just should be the same way. If I'm passed out and some girl gets on my dick, I didn't want her to do that. It's rape.
Yeah. It's rape.
Well,
so you would file charges for rape?
I don't know if I would, because
so you're defending Daryl. You're actually defending Daryl.
Right. But I think you would get laughed at.
I would. Yeah, I'd have to say no, you didn't.
So what was the original question?
The original question.
It sucks. Do you think it sucks to have to pay paternity or money, child support, if you were raped?
Well, yeah.
Well, we know a person that does that. I just say that because we have a person that we know that pays child support to a child out of rape.
Wow.
He was raped.
He was supposed.
He was so-called raped, right?
I ain't buying it, man.
He was at a party and he got drunk and now see, that's another point. Okay, yeah.
Okay, but you know what though? Okay, I'm always. If you're going to put yourself in a situation where you're drunk as a skunk and you don't know what the fuck is going on, then you made your bed and you're going to have to lie in it. And you got to take responsibility for your actions when you're drunk or whatever.
See, I think that I have to disagree with you. Okay, if that's the case, okay, yeah, maybe you're right. But what if I was at a party and some chick spiked my drink, okay, and I passed out, roofied me, whatever, and I still guarantee you I could probably get higher. And she had sex with me and the child came from that. I shouldn't have to pay child support. She should be in jail.
Yeah, but how do you prove rape?
Okay,
How does the world prove rape?
Okay, but why aren't you watching your drink? And why are you letting a stranger give you something that you don't know what's in it?
Listen. Things happen. You can't tell me that you could watch your drink at a party all day long. All you got to do is turn your head for 1 second with the drink in your hand, and I could throw something in there.
I guess that's possible, but I'm going to tell you, I've gone to clubs, and I've drank and had good times, and not once have I ever been roofied.
Right,
but I'm also cautious. I don't take drinks from
I'd roofie you in a minute, Mary.
I
would roofie the shit out
of
you.
There's things where they do it on purpose. Like, they'll have two people doing it. Like, they're working together, and the one guy will be talking to you and getting your attention away from your drink, and the other guy is throwing it in your drink, and you think you're paying attention, but you turned for a minute or two.
I guess that could happen, but I would also be with friends who would watch out for me and wouldn't take their eyes off of me, and I wouldn't be in a situation where that would happen.
Damn it! Watch Law and Order NCIS. It fucking happens.
I
It happens.
guess my whole point is if you're gonna go out and party, you have to be aware of your surroundings and just be responsible. If you're responsible and you have a good time, but you don't get yourself in a situation where you're gonna fuck up or something bad's gonna happen to you, then you're gonna be okay.
All right, here's a new one for you. You're at a club, and you get roofied because the bartender put it in there. The bartender was working with the rapist.
That could happen.
The bartender was in cahoots with the rapist.
Okay, if I got raped and I was pregnant out of rape, I wouldn't even keep the baby, so there'd be no child support or whatever.
But that's a good question that you bring up there without even bringing it up. Like, say someone was raped and they found out who the rapist was. Now the rapist goes to jail. Shouldn't he pay child support? I mean, he probably can from jail.
They do pay reparations.
Yeah,
they do pay. They do pay. What's it called? They do pay. They do end up paying.
Well, they should. They should.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Even if the state has to cover it until they pay it off, they have to pay.
Great money making opportunity for you, ladies. Yeah.
Ladies, well, they do it all the time. Trust me. I mean, what do you think of ladies like that who go out and say, "Oh, don't worry, I can't get pregnant. It's okay. It's okay." Isn't that a form of rape when a chick does that to you? Don't worry about it. They got me all screwed up down there. No problem. Go ahead, go ahead and fuck my brains out. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, you got this chick knocking on your door, or this sheriff knocking on your door with papers for a paternity suit. I mean, how fucked up is that?
Pretty fucked up.
That's a lie.
Well, it is fucked up, but again, you put yourself in that situation, you want to believe a girl, then that's your bad.
And not wear a condom.
So are you saying that girls lie?
Yeah, girls lie. Men lie too. We both do. Everybody lies. Everybody
but we tell different lies.
Do you believe that women speak Venusian and men speak Martian?
I believe that women are more in tune with their emotions than men, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I got to say. That's wrong. But anyways, men tell different lies. Okay. Men say, "Hey, honey, how's my ass looking these jeans?" You're not going to say, "It looks like cottage cheese, honey." Because you want sex later. So you lie. "Oh, my God, it looks amazing."
Yeah.
Okay, that's the kind of lies we tell.
Yeah, and then somebody at the bar tells her, your ass doesn't look good in those pants. And she turns around and smacks your ass, you lying fuck.
But do women really want the truth when they ask that?
I've never asked a man what my ass looked like, because that's just retarded. You're right. Because, most men who are honest, they're not going to bullshit you. They're going to be like, "No, those pants look like shit on you," or they're going to be like, and the ones that don't tell the truth, like you said, they're the ones that, tell you what you want to hear and are full of shit. But I don't know. I don't want that kind of a guy. I'd rather a guy be real.
Well, that's you. But there is women out there that don't want that. They want their man to say that it looks good, even when it doesn't, because if you say to some women, "Hey, how do I look fat in this shirt?" And if I said, "Well, you look fat in every shirt," that's I'm going to have no sex. I'm probably going to get punched.
You're probably going to get smacked, right?
They want me to say is, like especially those larger women that wear the really tight shirts that you can see everything. Mm-hmm. They want you to say, "Oh my God, you look gorgeous in that," when you really fucking don't.
Right.
Well, doesn't a woman know when she looks like shit? I mean, honestly.
Oh, I would like to think so. I mean, I think I know when I look like shit and when I feel pretty or whatever.
Exactly. I mean, when they look in the mirror and if you're so unsure that you have to ask your old man how you look, then you need to change the outfit, man.
To be honest with you, I think when a woman asks a man how she looks, she's
trying
she's
to get-
she's testing him, and she's trying to get a compliment.
Right.
So if he doesn't give a compliment, then yeah, she's gonna chew his head off, and he's screwed.
Well, that's fishing.
That's looking for a fight, right?
Well, that's kind of where us women are a little fucked up.
A little.
A little fuck.
Hey, I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Well-
men are fucked up too. I mean, I gotta say,
But,
we're just as vain as women are. I mean,
Well-
I know guys that look in the mirror and says, "Oh, you're fantastic," and we all know they're fugly.
Well, let me ask you this: you're married, Guido. When was the last time you called your wife beautiful?
Today, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Then that's a good thing. You're a good man, because once in a while, a woman needs to hear it from her man. She needs
I
to hear.
don't need my wife to dress up in fancy clothes or whatever to be beautiful. She's beautiful to me every second of every day.
Right?
You know. And she don't. I mean, that's the thing is, I actually like my wife better. To me, she's more beautiful, like no makeup and ponytail and
Plain
her
Jane.
sweats or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you know, and not saying she looks beautiful when she dresses up too. She looks gorgeous, but then other men look, and I don't like that.
Right.
So,
But
you
it's
know,
just a little piece of advice to the men out there. Tell your woman she's beautiful once in a while. A girl needs to hear it.
every once in a while, every
Your
few
girlfriend,
minutes.
your wife, your partner needs to hear it once in a while. Needs to feel that they are, still attracted.
and not just when you do
attractive.
something bad.
Right. Just do it out of the blue,
Okay.
especially
Okay.
out of the blue.
Here's a
Not
fair-
when you do something bad.
Here's a fair question. When is it appropriate for a woman to? Okay. So say it's a man and a wife. Should a woman go to her man and ask for sex?
Should a woman go to? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you're living with someone and you're together and you want to have sex, you should be able to go to your partner and be like, "What's up?"
Fuck me.
Yeah.
Right? And get all sexy and stuff. I
Right.
mean, okay, so this is a debate. Okay, why most men complain? A lot of men complain that they're always having to chase women to get sex. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to have it come the other way? I mean, every once in a while, maybe once a week, maybe.
I think so.
I would think so. I
Well,
mean, a
I
man
don't
needs to be appreciated too for what he does, right?
I agree.
No,
I mean,
there's-
I don't know. I'm a sexual person. If I could have it every day, I would.
Listen, if you want a woman that asks you for sex, marry a Hispanic woman. I'm kidding, not kidding.
He's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, well,
Someone's
Hispanic
like-
women are pretty sensual. They are very, very sensual.
Somos muy caliente. Meaning
Yeah, muy
we're-
caliente.
we're
Yeah.
hot in the sheets. I will admit that. A Latin girl will take care of your needs. Let me tell you.
Well, Mary Jane, we're about out of time. We've got to bring Sean in here. It's been wonderful talking to you,
It's been
and we'll continue this conversation next week. Okay?
Sounds good to me. You guys always make me laugh, and I have tons of fun with you. So thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, we love having you on, honey. Thanks for being with us tonight, and you have a good evening. Okay, sweetheart.
You too. Keep rocking, you guys.
All right, sweetheart.
You too.
Good night.
Take care.
Oh, that was a longer one.
Yeah, that was a little long. Well, listen, we're gonna bring in our guest for tonight, and Sean Huguenin, and he will be on here right after I do this one song right here. We're gonna do Huguenin, and it's called "Set Me Free."
I love that song.
This is the Conjugal Visit, KGFRocks.com. At KGFRocks.com and on the Conjugal Visit, and that was "Set Me Free" by Huguenin. And we have on the phone with us Mr. Sean Huguenin. How are you, Sean?
Not too bad. How you guys doing today?
Really good.
I'm doing really good, really good. Cold, but I'm doing okay.
Yeah, we're in a little bit of a frost now here too. It's very cold.
Yeah.
So before we go into this, I wanted to tell you and your fans to get to KGF Rocks and vote, because Sean's band is nominated alongside Bob Dylan and Foo Fighters as Artist of the Week. So it's all audience votes. So you could win, Sean.
Excellent.
Oh, that is such an honor, guys. I appreciate that so much, and for all the fans and support I've gotten through this year.
Well, we're glad to do it, and we're glad that you could stick it out. And I know that there's been some hard times here lately for you, Sean. And we've had your back, man. And we've been playing your stuff the whole time. And and if you turn out to be the winner in this, which I got a hunch you might, if you win this thing, your music and your band's music will be featured on KGFRocks.com for a full week.
It means every half hour or so, a song of yours will be played.
Oh, that's great.
And then you get your own page. But here's the thing: the best part about it, if you do win, you have the honor of telling people you beat out the Foo Fighters and Bob Dylan in a contest. How many times can you say that?
I won't get on that train too hard now, will I?
Yeah, look at me.
So tell us about what's going on in your life, in your music world.
Yeah, well, as you all know, September 11th of last year, now we are in 2016, Huguenin hit the road for the first time. We started at the Whiskey A Go-Go out in L.A., and that was a wonderful, humbling experience. Definitely an accomplishment I've always dreamed of, and got to have see come a reality. And I was able to do it with some of the greatest musicians that I had with Jeremy Jason and Dan Walters and Quentin Cafal. And we just went out there and just had a great show. Unfortunately, what ended up happening with that gig is we were supposed to be billed with House of Lords, and due to a scheduling conflict that they had to end up backing out of that particular show. But we still went there, and we had a blast. It was a wonderful turnout, and well received by the fans, and some people who have never even heard of us became new fans, as I found on my Facebook when I got back. I had a lot of people requesting and commenting about it. So it was a great experience. And then we came back into the Midwest here and played obviously here in Rockford and up in the Milwaukee area. So it was a great little run, and so that came to a close in November, and kind of let everybody focus on the holidays, get through these holidays and stuff. And for me, as you know, it was a change for me because my wife passed away from cancer back in August. So this was kind of like the first for me, the first set of holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff, not having the full family dynamic that I was used to having. So, but with great friends and support from the whole world, I was able to get through that. And, it'll never be easy, but it gets easier. And so what we're doing now is going into 2016, I'm kind of working on some new material. I got 2 singles that I am working that are going to come out as individual singles, not as part of the next Huguenin album. But then there's also a couple of songs that I started the foundation recording on for the Huguenin album. And with that, we're just taking shows as they come right now. I'm not doing any strong pushing for going out there and trying to lock in a bunch of shows right now. I want to get this new band, a new lineup that's going to consist of Russ Kutak on bass, who is the original bass player who recorded the tracks on the Huguenin CD. So it's a great honor to have him available, to actually have one of the musicians that did the guitar work on the CD actually come on the road and play some shows. And then we're also bringing in out of Janesville area, Andy Bell, who's a phenomenal guitarist who will complement the work that Gary Schutt did on that CD tremendously. Steve Strutman on drums, who's a phenomenal drummer from the Midwest here, as well as Sean Williams, who is definitely right up Jimmy Bell's alley when it comes to that shredding and serious guitar licking there. So I'm looking very forward to hearing Andy and Sean and their work together. I know they're going to be just as phenomenal as Jeremy Jason was, and Craig Sturkson that was out on the first run with me, and just seeing how the this whole band gets together. We're going to go in pretty much starting next month, and we're going to start our rehearsals up and start meshing and getting ready. Our first show that we do have locked up for this is set for March 19th in Pekin, Illinois, and it's part of a Rock for a Cure, and it's for diabetes and epilepsy. And it's a 10-billed show, and the headliner on there is Lillian Axe, and it's got Every Mother's Nightmare, Banshees invited on there. Mark Evans from Heaven's Edge is going to be doing an appearance at this. It's going to be a phenomenal lineup for a phenomenal cause, and I encourage anybody in the Midwest who are able to get out there to Pekin, Illinois for that to definitely jump on that boat and help that cause out.
Yeah, that's definitely a good cause. Anytime that rock comes out for a cause, it's great. And I think rock and roll music does more charitable things than any other form of music.
It does seem like a lot of rock genre bands are incorporated into a lot of these type of benefit fundraisers. Yes,
and it's a good thing. So now.
It reflects really well on the genre as a whole. Even some of these headbanging bands like Disturbed and all them guys, they do a lot of charity stuff as well. It's not like that their heads are locked into anything. I think the rock has changed for the better that way. What do you think, Sean?
I would agree, and I also think two other opportunities that I think musicians out there are realizing, whether you're already signed professional or not, is there is eyes and ears that are going to see you and hear you at opportunities like this that ain't normally going to go out and listen to, your particular band play. And, and especially like an indie artist like myself, I can only do so much promotion and publicity from my own standpoint. And when you go to events like this that may be rock, but maybe different levels in that rock, so you're going to draw in certain fans of one band that never got to hear my band or hear another band, and they're going to be like, wow, hey, these guys were great. And then, of course, they go out and they find you, and now you got a new fan because of a band that they went to go see that you happen to be on a bill with for a wonderful cause. And, and it just spreads the word like that. I think a lot of these fans are going from bands to bands because they're getting to hear new artists out there that they normally would have heard because we don't have that record label push or that indie record label push. So, we got to kind of get in when we can and try to get our max exposure when we can.
Right. And that's a shame because if you look at artists now in the rock world, most of them are on small record labels now. Mm-hmm. Not the mainstream record labels like the Warner Brothers or the Mercury or whatever. And even bands that are still quite popular are moving to smaller record labels, which I don't know if that's just an industry changing in its whole, or is it that these big labels are not giving rock music the fair chance?
Yeah, personally, I think it might have a little bit to do with both, possibly. I think the smaller record labels are giving the artists a little more freedom to be the artist that they want to. But at the same point, also, these big labels, they're wanting bands that are still pulling 30, 40, 50,000 people in an arena.
Right.
And a lot of bands today, even though they make it good and you have it to up to 15,000, to your big boys out there, that's obviously just not enough for them to keep them interested. So, I think it's a good thing because they leave the artists a lot of freedom versus a lot of the stories that you heard about how a lot of artists would be taken from their normal creative originalness and kind of forced to write certain styles in certain ways.
Right.
Well, that goes with the larger record companies having deeper pockets. Mm-hmm. They can pay for someone to go out and distribute that album. They can get people to do the advertising for that album and to tell people it's coming out that way. And it does sell. I mean, we can't deny that. And the smaller record labels don't do that. They encourage the artists to go out and bring people in, and by doing shows and going out. The thing that bothers me about it, Sean, and maybe you've got some insight on this, these bigger shows that are going out there, they are going with nationwide acts. But a lot of the other bands, some of the medium national bands that aren't in the top 50 or so, they're bringing in local artists. When they come into town, they'll pick a local artist to open for them. What do you think about that dynamic versus the big tour like the Journey, Dave Mason, and Doobie Brothers tour that's coming up here? Just as an example.
hmm Well, I know there's two attacks to that type of band setups with like the national acts that'll come in or the regional acts that'll come in and they'll pull a local artist to come in. For the regional act, a lot of times these local artists are playing for minimal or just promotional aspects to get into the band. I mean, if you got like Firehouse, for instance, that's playing at a local club here, they're probably going to pack out that club. And if you're having trouble getting into that club, well, what do? You usually talk to your boys, and if you can, you play for free or play for a small bar tab just to kind of get exposure to the fan base that would come and normally not see you. And it saves more money for the venue to be able to give to the artist, who probably has a pretty decent little tag put to them. And then you have, these bigger, smaller tour acts to where, I don't know if you ever heard the expression about buying into a tour. A lot of smaller bands, including myself, could always have the opportunity, if I had a deep enough pocket, to buy into a tour, which would get you in part of that run or a certain leg, depending on where that national act's going. And a band in my level, what we would do is that would be totally on the hopes that between merch and the mass exposure that we get playing in front of 3,000 to 6,000 people every night would pay off in the end.
Right. Well, you would have, and it should. I mean, if you're going with somebody that's huge,
Right.
or somebody that is almost, not the same style as you, but similar style to you, there's going to be people in that crowd that like you.
Yeah, do they buy into those festivals at all, Sean? I mean, do bands buy into, like Ozfest and shows like that? Do bands actually buy into that to try and get on the bill?
Them younger ones, yes. Normally what happens, though, is from my understanding, is they will get into the leg of that particular band's run that's contracted for them that happens to have a stop at that particular festival.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if they could actually say, hey, we want to target this one Masters of Rock, for instance, and get on that bill, or if it's just, hey, we're on a run with, we paid to be one of the bands that's opening up for the Scorpions or whatever out of the three bands that are going around, or Ozfest, and it happened to stop there, for instance. That I could see that's probably where that would happen. But once again, I don't know. I never really questioned that. I just know that there's two ways that normally happens in the music world, as far as especially the people at my level.
Yeah, and that's how it is too. It's a shame too that buy-in thing that makes no sense to me. I mean, it should be artist should pick who they want to go on tour with them. And if somebody liked you, they should take you on the road. But it's a business, and it's all about money.
Exactly, and it's a supply and demand also. We get a lot of people that I get humbled by the emails and the IMs and stuff I get on Facebook or my webpage saying, I can't believe, you guys aren't playing this, or like the Rock and Skulls, or, or the Melodic Rock Fests, or any of them type of venues, that got like mostly regional bands with a few national bands that come in to headline them. And it's just like I tell them, it's a matter of supply and demand. Yes, I may have a handful of people that listen to Huguenin stuff, and the sales are phenomenal. I have no gripes whatsoever at how well this scarcity is done. But obviously, it's not at a level that has captured the eyeballs of the promoters that are in charge of these big venues to want to take a chance with a band that they really haven't seen that much live or seen in the spectrum. So, that's why you do a lot of things that you need to do to get that exposure. Now, bands, I think the problem would be if bands were able to pick who they wanted to open for them, which could be a good thing. One of the downfalls I see of that is just like any other business out there. If you got a relative that's in a rock band, you're going to pull them up with you.
Sure.
There's going to be favoritism. There's going to be somebody's cousin's brother or whatever that's in a band, and they're on the bill now, and so and they're not the ones that are forking the money over. It's actually the promoter that's paying all of this money to the artist in advance, and they're the ones that want to bank. So they're going to try to bring in the best banks, for the buck that they can bring in.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, it's a business, and it's the music business, and it's once you make it to this part where you're making money, the rules change.
Yep.
And like right now, you're doing. For the love of it, but that would change, I think, a little bit when you get famous, I should say, because it's a business now, right? You're doing a world tour. You're done with your day job now. You're to the spot where you can just do music. Do you think the rules change that?
I think they will, and like I said, a lot of it is getting that break, that one break, and it doesn't have to be a record label break or anything like that. It's playing the right festival at the right time, catching the right amount of people there, and I don't care who you are, if anybody's sitting in the background and they see a lot of attention being drawn to this one band, whether they heard you or not, they're going to go and listen to you.
Right.
And that's why, we're very excited that Justin Murr invited us for this Rock for a Cure thing, because, 10 bands, we're going to be seeing people that have never had a chance to see Huguenin before. I know there's a lot of our fans that are actually going to that show because they know we're there, but I'm also going to have the luxury of meeting so many other wonderful people that have never probably even heard any of Huguenin.
Oh yeah, some of these bands are awesome. I mean, Eminem and also Banshee and also Heaven's Edge. I've heard Heaven's Edge. These are mostly all indie bands that are in there, but that's a great lineup, man, right there.
Yep, it is phenomenal. Half of them came to Rock and Skull this past year and just killed it. I mean, they did a fantastic job out there.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark Evans is good.
That's good. And Lillian Axe is they were, semi-successful in their day, and I'm sure they have a lot of fans that will enjoy your music as well. Mm-hmm. And they're the headliners. So, what spot do you go on?
We're 7th on this particular lineup.
Oh, that's
at least as of right now. We probably won't get the official itinerary, and time slots probably until a week or so before the show, but. Right now, they got us pegged as 7th on the docket.
That's a pretty good spot, I think. I think the worst spot is number 1.
Yeah, the first band to play is number 1. Yeah. Let me ask you something, Sean. During a show, okay, not every show is a perfect show, right?
Right.
Not every show is a perfect show, but on a night where everything just clicks, man, everything just clicks. What kind of a feeling is that for you, man?
Oh, it is phenomenal, because the adrenaline when you hit the stage, at least for me, when I hit that stage, it's like a drug high, And I remember Ted Nugent saying a long time ago. They asked me, I can't believe that you don't do drugs or any of this stuff, and he says you've been in front of 30,000 people. He says it's the highest drug you could ever be on, and I get that because playing in front of, to me, any amount of people, when that music starts and you're on there, you're there for them. They're wanting to hear your music, which is the ultimate honor that any musician can have, is people that are there to hear them. So you hit that stage and you go for it. And, unfortunately, sometimes a little nick here and there will happen. Sometimes it's so discreet that only the musicians know it. The people out in the crowd, unless you're a really serious musician, might catch it. But sometimes it don't take much but a little flop to really just get the momentum off a little bit. And then it can take time sometimes to get back on that. But, for the most part, you just drive through. You have full trust in your bands and in your musicians and in their competence to be able to recoup from anything that might have happened. To say that I haven't brain dumped a lyric or not, oh yeah, it happens to everybody.
Oh yeah, it does.
But it's how you play it, how you recover it, and how you don't give up on the fans and continue to give them what they deserve in that show, and not allow that to ruin your whole entire evening.
And it's true. I mean, I seen Ace Frehley in concert, and he was playing "Shock Me," and the rest of the band was playing another song. So it does happen, and I'm sure it happens more times. Nervous energy or whatever. But like you said, if you can recover from it, that makes the difference. Because us as DJs, we do the same damn thing. We'll stumble our words, we'll say the wrong thing, but you got to cover it, man. You got to come back and act like it's nothing.
Yep. Like the amount of bands too. Like we all hit the stage with a set list, and I can openly admit, and I know other bands have done this. Is the next song, for whatever reason, whether the guitarist starts a song after that, you actually skip a song. So everybody at first is kind of like, okay, we just skipped the song here,
Mm-hmm.
but you roll with it, like if somebody starts off on the other song, then everybody just, try not to do that look funny type of thing and just roll with it like it's part of the show,
Now, absolutely.
It happens.
Now, have you ever had an onstage rant? Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day when he had his rant at an iHeartRadio festival, when he just stopped and started swearing and talking shit about people. Have you ever done anything like that?
I never have. If anything, I like to, how do I say it, at my shows during certain songs, I will take a little bit of time and send out a little bit of encouragement to people. I've never gone on the rants. Of course, I've never had anything like bottles thrown at me and had my head split open or anything either. But for the most part, I just try to, if anything, my rant is like, for instance, the song, The Truth that I have, that song is all about gossip. So I'll go on a little rant about, just how people hate gossip, and what, and so I'll talk about that for a little bit, and then we'll go into the song, because I would say, gossip stinks, but I've never actually had yet. I say yet because you do never know what can happen. Going off on anybody in the crowd, and it would really have to be. It would have to be a health and safety thing that would cause me to do that. I mean, you can sit there and flip me off or do whatever you want from the stage. That ain't going to affect me. But if you risk the health and safety of anybody in the crowd or anybody on the stage there, I might have a few words to say.
And that's true. Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters, one time, he stopped a show to throw a guy out because he started a fight with another guy. And he stopped his whole entire show, singled that guy out. You, the faggot with the striped shirt, he said. And they threw him out because he said, I don't want fighting at my show. This is about, you having fun. But then there's artists back in the day like Axl Rose, who just had a problem with everything. Yeah. And it kind of ruins the show, I think. So I think you're right to do it that way. Someone's going to give you the middle finger, whatever. They're ignorant. Twisted Sister in the early days got pieces of shit thrown at them, and they still rocked it. They didn't stop. Yeah. So it's all about what your integrity and you yourself as a person, I think. And I think especially if you're going to rant on somebody that doesn't like you, nobody has to like somebody, just deal with it. And I think that's the right way to go. Yeah. I just ran on a rant there. I apologize.
He went ranting. He went ranting and raving. So the show, the Rockin' for a Cure, is going to be in Pekin, Illinois, on March the 19th, and there'll be bands like Lillian Axe, also Eminem, and also Banshee and Heaven's Edge, and then along with that is going to be Huguenin and the Green Band, and there's like 14 bands or something.
Yeah, right. We got Lillian Axe, Every Mother's Nightmare, Banshee, Mark Evans from Heaven's Edge, and it looks like the Great Affairs and Huguenin, then the Heather Green Band and the Unhandsome Devils. And,
Unhandsome Devils, great name. I love the name of bands. Some bands just go, they come up with something, as an inspiration. I don't know. I just love some of the names of these bands. Banshee. I mean, for crying out loud, then if that doesn't tell you that's headbanging rock and roll, I don't know what else does, right?
Free Ride's favorite band name is the Butthole Surfers.
The Butthole Surfers, yes, yes, they are one of my favorite. They are one of my favorite bands of all time. Yes, they are. I don't deny it. And at one time, they wore granny panties on stage, so it doesn't matter to me that as long as they did that, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
So Sean, do you think your band's got what it takes to go up against Bob Dylan and the Foo Fighters?
I'm excited. I would definitely say I'm very proud of some of the material that is on the Huguenin CD. Actually, I'm proud of all the material, but there's definitely some that are without a doubt I consider national level recordings.
Great.
I just wrote the right particular genre and the right style of a song that it just really has been received well by everybody that's heard this stuff.
Right. Well, we find since starting this radio station, I never gave indie music a chance. Okay, I always thought in my mind, hey, if they're not on a label, what good are they? Okay, but ever since we started the station, I like indie music better than corporate rock, and it's just pure music. It's no bullshit, and I like it. And we love what bands like your band's doing and other bands out there that are still keeping that music going. Because some of this stuff that's on the radio that the record labels are putting out is trash. It's shit. I don't get it.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Now, I was going to say what I think happens, and like I was saying earlier with the labels, is the difference between an indie artist, even an indie artist that's on a basic indie label. They're not too pushy. The artists have a lot of time to really just write the songs that as they're inspired and take their time to produce them well and get a good song and a good quality CD out there. And it's not like, okay, we're giving you this much, we need 5 albums in 5 years. And in between that, you're going to tour. So while people are on the buses, they're trying to write their next album because they got them touring the whole entire year to try to get their money back. And so the people are force feeding out songs. They're basically just assembly lining songs and grabbing the top 10 of whatever the bunch that they write and throw them on an album so that the industry can get another album out for that band. And you can see where that's hurt. You had bands that usually come out with their first 1 or 2 albums that were just absolute knockouts because they had most of that material pre-written. Mm-hmm. And then you get towards their later material, it's like, why are these artists still writing? Because they still got to fulfill that contract.
Right.
And I think it's a big difference when you can take your time and really sit down and write a good song.
And I agree with you. And I think that's probably why a lot of these older bands, like Megadeth and all these other bands that are still have selling capabilities are moving to these smaller labels because I think they get that freedom like that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's rock's better that way.
It definitely rocks better.
Yeah, and just like a good example is take Stryper. Not
band.
that they ever put out a bad album at all. I've really loved all their albums, but since like Frontier picked them up and they came out with their last 3 albums, it was kind of like that old heavier Stryper that people used to love, and it's just nice to see them come back to that and be able to take time to write their songs.
Their new album probably rocks harder than anything they've ever did. That's one of my favorite bands in history. I've seen them so many times, and every time I've seen them, they never disappointed me. They are the most underrated rock heavy metal band of all time.
Stryper. Yeah.
Well, because people don't listen to it because of their message, But you'll listen to Black Sabbath, and speaking about death and gore and all this, but you don't want to hear enlightening music that rocks just as hard. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's true.
Though, my CD really and it really backed up like how Robert Sweet. I don't know if you ever seen that In the Beginning documentary.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, you remember that phrase that Robert Sweet said when he was asked, you're this band, you played all this heavy music. Do you think people are getting the message? And Robert made that comment saying, when you got people that are singing back the lyrics to you and they're in their head, how can they not be getting the message?
That's absolutely true.
and when I listen to mine, one of the biggest compliments I get out of my album, which, musically, I like to think the music is great with the whole entire thing, the way that I wrote the songs, but it's very humbling when you have people that comment back and say, the music is phenomenal, but your message is it's like almost like the message that I write in the song is something people are pulling out in positivity.
Wow, who does he sound like, man? Who does he sound like? You know who that sounds like, don't you? That sounds like Paul McCartney. And the message, when he spoke about sending out a message in his music, and they were artists at it, man. They'd reach out and grab you and pull you right in and tell the story, and that's
because I am the walrus, goo goo gajoob is a good message.
Well, yeah, it is a good message. when you say custard matter dripping from a dead dog's eye. Okay, what did that mean? The walrus was Paul. What did that say? I mean, there's so many hidden messages inside of a lot of Beatles music, but not just the Beatles. I was using them as an example.
Right.
Deep Purple does that as well. You also have bands like Uriah Heep to do that kind of thing, where they tell a story and and if people get it, you can hear them singing along. Oh, another one, Jethro Tull. I mean, if you go to a Jethro Tull concert, there's no one in the audience that's not singing along with him, and they get it. They really do get it.
Well, I think what Sean was saying too, and like what Robert Sweet said, it's in your head, and it's true. So music works kind of both ways that way, and it's all how you interpret them lyrics. So I think musicians have a responsibility not to promote things like hurting yourself or drinking yourself to death. I mean, we've proven, remember when Ozzy got brought up on charges because they thought the kid killed himself because of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So music is a powerful tool, and I think it's our responsibility to make sure that they use it the right way.
I agree. Hey, Sean, do you have time to stick around for a few minutes? I was going to go ahead and play another one of your tunes for you, man. Can we do that?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely.
Okay, well, this is a conjugal visit through kgfrocks.com, and our very special guest is Sean Huguenin, and we are going to play the next song. This is Hold On. Huguenin, only on kgfrocks.com.
Opportunity, and I think you probably heard about that Starstruck CD that was done from the GRC group. That's a bunch of music followers like that, and that was just a great CD compilation that came out, and that was down there. So by me being there, I was able to just sign a bunch of stuff for people as they bought the CDs, and it just it made the fans happy, and that's what it's all about is allowing them to have opportunities as well as us to have opportunities to meet them. So
that's very cool. Hey, everybody, we're talking to Sean Huguenin, and we just listened to Holding On. And wasn't there an inspirational thing for Holding On? Oh.
Holding On is if there's probably one of the songs that just gives you a won't give up type of attitude, it's that. Me growing up in my life, I grew up in Woonsocket, Rhode Island, and I wasn't the perfect child, wasn't the perfect teenager. I went through roughness just like everybody else did, and there were some times of just being out on my own and really not knowing what's going on. But I never gave up. And that's probably the biggest thing behind that song is just no matter how beat down you get, it's just holding on because there's a future there for everybody, and we won't know it unless we just keep pushing through.
Sure, that's awesome. That's awesome. And messages, we were just talking a little while ago about sending out a message, and there's the right message and there's the wrong message, and you in all of your music that I've heard, you give the right message, man. You really do.
Well, thank you, and I definitely strive to continue that in all my music, writing something that's going to touch somebody in a positive way out there.
Right.
Sure. That's going to give me guarantee of. So.
And that's the way it should be. I mean, there are idiots out there that write stupid music and stuff about, that's why I always,
and make money.
Well, yeah, we'll say like rap, for instance. I have nothing against rap. I like some rap, but a lot of it's got a negative message, and it doesn't help society at all. And there's positive raps too. But I mean, with rock music, it's the same way. There's a lot of bands out there that talk about bullshit, and I'm not talking about the sex, drugs, and rock and roll stuff and partying and sex, because that's always going to be in rock. But, talking about some of these new bands, death, and, there's already kids on the edge of wanting to commit suicide, and you're going to push them. I think that's bullshit and should be not allowed. And it's a positive message. Bring it. Your music is positive and it rocks at the same time. It's kind of like you were talking about Stryper. Their music is positive and it rocks. Why can't music be positive and rock? I don't get it.
Yeah, because there's so much depressing stuff in this world. Somebody shouldn't have to turn on a radio and hear more depressing stuff. They should be able to hear something good, When you put on music's supposed to be soothing, it's supposed to be, enjoyable. And, like you said, listening to some of the stuff that's out there, I don't knock anybody's creativity. There's always probably a reason and a purpose behind it, but sometimes it doesn't mean I'll understand what that reason or purpose is, or anybody else. But, it's the last thing I want to hear when I turn on a radio is just a discouraging song story when I can turn on the news and read discouraging stories.
Yeah, absolutely. And in my opinion, music for me was always my escape. I never had, I didn't have the rich upbringing, whatever. We struggled, whatever. And to me, music made me forget about some of those problems that we had. And it kept me alive for the most part. And I think that's what music should be about, your escape, not to add more depression to what you already have. And go ahead.
There were many nights when I was a kid, and I was I don't know if y'all have seen the '70s show. Well, that's basically my life, in the basement, with the black lights on and the posters on the wall and the music playing, and that's what it was all about, and that's where it was. And the music was the key to pretty much everything that we did, rock concerts and things that we went to do. When you were younger, Sean, I know you just had a birthday, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, dude! Yeah, you had a birthday, and so when you were a kid growing up, what was some of the music you really got into?
When I was growing up, the very first band, and I'm going to take you back to about age of 5 here, real quick. I love the Village People.
Oh.
I had the Village People vinyl. But then at the flip side of that, about the ages 6, 7, about the same time, because I listened to a lot of stuff my dad used to listen to, which was like Santana and stuff like that. I grew a big liking to Kiss, the early day Kiss. Matter of fact, my first two albums outside of Village People, my first two rock albums I ever owned, is I took a gift certificate to a record store that I got for Christmas one year, and I think it was like 6 or 7, and I bought Kiss Alive 1 and Kiss Alive 2. Or Kiss Alive and Kiss Alive 2, whatever the two were, back to back. And then my first two vinyls I ever had were 2 Kiss albums. And
that's awesome. My first vinyl ever bought was Kiss Rock and Roll Over. Yeah. Free Ride doesn't understand the freaking impact that band had on rock and roll today.
I understand. Okay, don't get. It's your age. That's all it is. Because Kiss wasn't even. How do I say it? When I was growing up, it was bands like Deep Purple, bands like Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, bands like guys like Jimi Hendrix. The experience of music was at that time. So I don't know. The Animals, bands like that. And see, you even know these bands, Guido. You know these bands.
I do. I grew up with them.
But you weren't around for them to influence you like they influenced me. I mean, there's nothing like kicking back and listening to a Donovan song.
Well, to go tell you, Sean and Free Ride, my biggest musical influence of all time is Elvis Presley, okay? So if I had to choose one person that made me like music, it would be Elvis. But Kiss made me realize that it was more than just music. It's a show. It's a feeling. It's a whole different spectrum with Kiss. I'm not talking about Kiss now, the let's go make as much money as we can Kiss. I'm talking about the classic 1970s Kiss. Those were the guys that did a lot for rock and roll. I remember when Kiss took their makeup off, I said to my best friend, do you think they still know how to play? They were like superheroes in some aspect.
No, they forgot how to play.
Well, you think the makeup made them the band, but then they came out and they were still the band. But there's bands like that leave it last.
See, Sean shaved his head, man, and he's still rocking out, man.
But you know who set that tone though?
Who's that?
You remember the first? I'll never forget. I mean, you always had Accept, and you always had Judas Priest, that had fairly short hair. But I never forget. I can't remember exactly what album it was, but one year it was like you're watching Metallica on stage headbanging, and the next minute they come on and the heads are shaved.
Oh, I know. That was like, what the?
And I was like, so that right there gave us guys a lot of opportunity in life to say, you don't have to have long hair to rock and roll, No,
you definitely don't. Well, Ronnie Montrose never had a lot of hair. He shaved his head.
And it's funny how people look different, too. Like Peter Frampton in the 70s with his long flowing mane, and now Peter Frampton now. It's like, that's a different guy, man. Who is that guy? But, it goes to show you, too. I remember when Metallica cut their hair for the first time, and it was like, oh, my God, they're not metal anymore. But they still were. They still were. I mean, the whole concept of you have to have long hair to be in a rock and roll band is stupid because, Judas Priest, Rob Halford, never had long hair, ever. And he rocked harder than anybody else, Yep.
Neither did Sting.
Who?
Sting never had long hair.
He's not a...
He's a rock star. Shut up. Shut up. Bono never had long hair.
Okay, you stop talking now.
A lot of artists never had long hair.
I'm talking about people like, your Zeppelins and your Deep Purples and your people like that associated with long hair.
It was all a part of the scene. Having long hair was all part of the scene. And now it's not.
Right.
No, it's not. I mean, some of the heavier bands, when they do their head with do you miss doing that, Sean? Do you miss having that long flowing hair to bang your head and make your hair fly?
I enjoyed it. I thought it really set an image. It really did. I guess I am one of the lucky ones though, where I was just gifted with the right shaped melon to be able to go bald. Some people are unfortunately going bald and they just don't have the melon to support it.
No, you're right.
Right.
I remember when I first went into the army and everybody got their head shaved, and I was like, "Oh man, I bet you can't wait for your hair to grow back." Because
you ugly. You are ugly.
When you first get basic training, they cut it down really short, and then later on you can grow it out a little bit. But some of these guys just looked horrible. I felt really bad for them. So you were in the military, correct?
Yep, I served 23 years. I retired April 2013.
Awesome, great. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's awesome. And what branch of the service were you in?
I was in the Army National Guard.
I like this guy every minute. I like this guy. I was in the Army too, and the Army National Guard.
I thought I liked him for some reason. National Guard. That was my first. That was my my first pick on that.
He was a sailor, free ride. Yeah. But I was in the Army and then the Army National Guard for a while. I got out in 2001. I actually got out in August of 2001, and I was so afraid when September 11th happened. I wasn't afraid. I thought I was going to get recalled. And I did. But my National Guard unit were one of the first people on the scene at 9/11. So I was kind of, in one sense, be like, I'm glad I didn't you have to go to Iraq or whatever. But I was kind of pissed off that I didn't get to be part of the rebuilding America process, And anybody that was in the military, I don't care if you were in a war or not. I thank you, because that is why this nation is wonderful, because of people like you, Free Ride, and myself, who took that oath to protect this country. You know what I mean? And God bless us all.
That's
I appreciate that.
Well, listen, Sean, you know what? You told me earlier tonight that you wanted to do a short interview.
It never works out that way, does it?
Yeah, it was a great conversation. I know you're feeling just a tad bit under the weather tonight, but we certainly do appreciate you following through and being on our show tonight. It's been wonderful talking with you, man. We want you to have much great success in 2016. And and keep up the love of the family, and keep headed in the right direction, man. You're going to be awesome, I promise.
Yeah, well, like I said, I appreciate all the support from radio stations like you guys and these interviews, and just let everybody know, they can always find me at Facebook for Huguenin or HugueninMusic.com. Definitely place to get merch and CDs or listen to. We're all over the place now. We're on pretty much all your CD Baby, your Soulfly, Rhapsody, iTunes, so you pretty much can find us any way you want to. But check us out, and definitely love to hear from you and what they think. And I had a great time doing this. I appreciate it always.
And vote for them for the Artist of the Week. I want to see Bob Dylan and the Foo Fighters. I really do, and do it. Vote for him.
Go vote on our webpage. Go in there and vote for whoever you want to vote for, but we want you to vote. And Sean, again, thanks for coming on the show tonight, and you have yourself a wonderful year. Come back and see us anytime, man.
We will. We appreciate it greatly. You gents have a great time yourselves.
Okay, buddy. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
You too.
Oh, all right.
One quick question, man. Would you do a voiceover for us?
Yeah.
Yeah? Would you do a voiceover for us? All right, I'll hook up with you sometime this week, and we'll put something together, okay?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot again, Sean. You have a good night, man.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Take care.
Take care.
You too.
What a
Awesome.
Great guy.
He is a great guy. And
what a great guy.
He's just honest, down to earth person, and that's cool. And he's I know he does a lot of volunteer and work and stuff like that, and I think he's works at a hospital, if I'm not mistaken. He's got
a chaplain at a hospital.
He's got a good soul.
Yeah, he really does. He's a great guy, and he's a very bright individual. Oh my God, he's such a smart guy,
and the fact that he likes Striper and Kiss, two of my favorite bands ever.
Oh yeah,
better.
He's right up your alley, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. He is really great, and that's the second time we had him on the show, and both shows were awesome.
And it won't be the last.
And it won't be the last. I guarantee you that, because I think he's going to win this Artist of the Week thing. I think he's going to pull it off. He's going to go out there and he tell all his friends. And we want you to tell all your friends about KGFRocks.com. Go on out to our website, man. Check us out. We got Artists of the Week now. We got pictures on there. You can play games. It's more interactive. You can replay tonight's show, folks. If you missed most of the interview and you want to play it back tonight after the show, it's posted right on our page, right on the front page underneath the player at www.kgfrocks.com. Okay, so we want you all to tune in and listen.
Here's something else. Here's something else I didn't know. I put that player of last week's episode on the front page. Well, it's right now playing our current episode. So it's live on the page. So you never have to go to Spreaker ever again, folks. You can just come to KGFRocks.com. And if you want to hear past episodes, go to the Conjugal Visits homepage, which is on the left-hand side at the top of the page, and you can hear interviews with Mike LaPond from Symphony X or Tommy Gibbons of Tantric, or one of our favorite interviews of all time, Mr. Rusty Burns.
Rusty Burns. Yeah, that was an awesome interview, man.
And we wish him much luck and speedy recovery. I know he's battling an illness right now.
Yeah, he's battling the cancer too.
What?
So everybody is touched by cancer, man.
I know it's
I don't know
crazy.
anybody that's not touched by cancer one way or the other. I think a fundraiser of some sort would be awesome for a cancer thing, and maybe we'll talk about that later. But
Yeah, you know what I want to talk about?
what? What?
I want to talk about the current classic artist of the week. Classic artist of the week, artist of the week. Damn it! Drop that classic shit.
Yeah, it's hard to drop the classic shit, isn't it? Yeah, they are tantric.
And they went up against Kid Rock and oh my god, I forgot who else they went up against. But they went up against some stiff competition and they won. Their fans won it for them. And, that's what it's all about, people. It's about you voting for your favorite artist. I had posted it on each band's Facebook page, and Tantric's fans won. I can't hear you. Yeah. What's that?
Tantric.
Oh,
there it is. I keep pushing the button off because I don't want people to hear me breathing. So I need to get a less sensitive mic, I guess. I need to get a mic like you got, man. That way I can sit back and sit away from the microphone. But that's okay. I've been shutting it off all night. I think I'm doing okay. I'm not doing great, but I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than I have been. So I'm glad to be a part of the show either way.
This show actually went pretty damn quickly. I mean, we got 15 minutes left. Yeah. And we were worried that we weren't going to be able to fill the time because we thought that Sean was going to be a short interview.
Yeah, and Sean, he's just awesome. He's just awesome. And don't forget, folks, that he's doing a show. If you get a chance and you're in the Midwest and you get a chance, you want to see that show, okay? Rockin' for a Cure. That's actually going to be in Pekin, Illinois. And it's on Facebook. Just go to Sean's page on Facebook and like him, and it'll be on there. And you can go in and get tickets for that. And it's going to be a great show. Lots of bands are going to be there, so you want to go check it out, okay? And there's only 200 tickets available, so go for it. All right, if you're in the area. Anyway, what else is going on, man? Rock and roll wise, we have gone from a format of classic rock only to all rock. We now rock from 1966 to 2016.
Right. And I think it's great because we rock and everything rocks.
Oh, I was going to say to Sean, I didn't get a chance to in the interview to tell him that I was listening to the station just yesterday when I was getting ready to go to work. I had it turned up, and the Huguenin song came on, and Huguenin played, and then the following song right after that was Wishbone Ash, and I said, "Wow, cool. That was awesome." It just slid right into this Wishbone Ash song, and I said, "Oh my God, it works." It really works, folks. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to the station lately, big changes, man. Big changes, and I like it.
Big change. And I was doing the same thing the other day. I was listening to it, and it was just the opposite, though. It was like a Frank Zappa song was on, and then a System of a Down song came on. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, what other terrestrial radio station plays Frank Zappa to System of a Down? Nobody. And you know what? It's all about rock and roll. I mean, that's what we do. We rock for the people. And who's to say that rock stopped in a certain time? It doesn't. It keeps going. It goes here. It does. And I love the fact that we knocked that door down and stop restricting ourselves. I love it.
Yeah. I think so too, and not only that. If we just stuck to the classic rock, rock could die.
It could die. And you know what the thing about it is? We played some great classic rock, and there's only so much that you could play. You know, now with the new stuff mixed in, it's kind of like we appeal to everybody.
Right.
And the fact that we play it all is a testament to that rock is still alive. That is the one thing that we tried to do was when we started the station was we wanted to keep the rock alive, but we restricted ourselves. Okay, we restricted ourselves. Now we don't. We're going to keep the old rock alive and the new rock alive.
That's what it's worth, man. That's
just like our DJs, we got old and young, man. And I think it's great though that some of our older disc jockeys here are in tune with some of the new music. It's a great thing. It shows you that just because you're older doesn't mean you have to stop listening to rock and roll.
No, you don't have to stop rock and roll.
Right.
Otherwise, it'll die, man. And we don't want it to die. We want bands like Huguenin and Elric and the Tribe and all these bands and Hex and all these bands that we've had on here, Symphony X, Tantric. We want those new bands to succeed. And that's what it's all about, man. That's what we want those bands to succeed. Sure, okay, the James Gang is cool, and old traditional Yes is awesome, and this and that, and this and that, and this and that, right? Okay, but no, these newer bands that we bring on our station, and other stations play them too, that's rock and roll, man. That's rock
it
and
is.
Roll. Yeah,
it is. It's all about the rock, man.
And we keep it alive. We're keeping it alive. We want to keep it alive, man. Definitely.
Well,
so,
what do we got next week?
Next week, that's what I was just going to, man. Wow, this guy's good. I got a good partner, man. I don't know what I'd fucking do without you, dude. I really don't.
Stop stroking.
Okay, I'll stop stroking. Does it feel good, though?
Yeah, it does.
No question about it. No doubt about it. We got that will be on January the 17th, which is next Sunday. We welcome Steve Kyle to the show. Steve Kyle is St. Louis rock band Rebel Train, and he will talk about Rebel Train and also his solo work that he's been doing lately, and also talking about going into the studio and possibly doing a short tour. Okay? So that'll be very cool. Steve Kyle of Rebel
Very
Train
cool.
will join us next Sunday night. You want to look forward to that. And then following him, we have, and this is very cool, these guys are on the actually the 24th. We're going to be talking to this is going to be a good show. This is going to be Alan Tecchio. He's a vocalist for Mike LePond's Silent Assassin album.
He is.
Yes,
and he was in a couple other bands. What's his Watchtower?
Watchtower, and also they've got a new album out, so that's cool. And Alan will also be doing some solo stuff as well. So we're going to have to dig up some music on him. And that will be on the 24th of January. And then on the 31st, we have a really kick-ass hard. If you like jamming, folks, if you like the headbanging and the heavy rocking, these guys are the guys. Chemicals of Democracy. And these guys bring it. They got a contemporary mix with alternative headbanging style of music. Each song has its own individual sound, turning heads everywhere they play. These guys really rock it, man. They are very good. And then on the 4th of February, this is going to be my most favorite show of all. This is going to be fun. I've already, I get smitten every time I think about it. It's going to be Gabby Ray. And Gabby Ray is so friggin' awesome. She's 17, Guido. You're going to have to behave, man.
I know.
You're going to have to behave.
Now, you're the one always talking about granny panties.
Well, she's 17, dude. I'm talking about granny panties. And that'll be on the 7th of February. And she's an actress. She's done videos on VH1. She actually won an award on there. She was on Billboard. She's been on RollingStone.com. She's done work with Queensryche, Stryper, Jeff Scott Soto, also Ronnie James Dio. She rocks it, man. She rocks it. She's awesome. She loves the classics.
She does,
man.
and I think she does. And Michael's Suite of Stryper, I think is doing some production work with her current album.
And she's on the road right now, so we'll be talking to her from the road. So that's going to be even better. Okay, and then on the on the 14th, we are going to have Sam Bam Colton, who is lead guitarist of his own band, and he also played with Gabby Ray. So you see the connection here, Guido? You see the
Yes, I do.
So it's gonna be a shitload of fun too. Okay, so we're gonna rock it out, man. And she's also a friend of Emil, which is Emil Belices, Belial. Yeah, that's his name, Belial. He is the guy from Impending Reflections.
Oh, okay.
Impending Reflections, yeah. So we all know who he is, and we play his music too. So all these people, we play their music, dude.
We do.
Cool?
We play everybody.
Yeah. And speaking of playing everybody, if you've got a band out there that you really like, or you're in a band and you'd like to hear them on kgfrocks.com, drop us a line. Go to kgfrocks.com, go on the page, and then scroll down, and it says have an idea. Go ahead and drop us a line and give us an idea. Okay? And definitely going to be a good time had by all.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's right.
Are you awake over there, man?
No, I'm not.
You're not?
Well,
Yeah, you're drinking
Not tonight.
alcoholic beverages tonight.
I am.
Yeah.
I was drinking some Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan.
Yes, Captain Morgan, and it's good shit.
It's good shit. Yeah, well, I enjoy it.
Do you
Sometimes.
enjoy drinking? Do you drink?
I don't drink.
No.
I drink on special occasions, birthdays, stuff like that, weddings.
I drink on
whatever.
special occasions too. Monday, Tuesday, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
No,
Every
I don't.
day's a special occasion.
No, I
Your
don't
house.
drink. I'm not like that. I don't drink. Last time I had a drink was probably Christmas Eve.
It was Christmas Eve. Okay.
Right. And tonight I had two. I had two Captain Morgan and Cokes. I don't drink to get drunk. I just drink, a little bit here and there. I actually like the taste of Captain Morgan. It's kind of sweet and nice tasting. But I don't get these people that just drink to get drunk all the time. It doesn't make sense to me because when I used to drink a lot, the next day would suck, and you'd say, "Oh, I'm never going to do this again." But you do. You do it again, and it's
Right.
stupid.
Right.
But we're not here to talk about my drinking habits or my lack of drinking
No.
habits.
No, why not, man? I mean, we're always talking about my granny panty thing.
Right.
Let's discuss your alcoholism.
There is no alcoholism.
I know there's not.
Yeah.
I know that. Guido's a straight shooter, man. You don't have that. So
No, I'm not saying I'm a straight shooter. I do things here and there, but I do drink socially. And yes, I do drink tonight because it's Sunday, damn it.
It's Sunday, yeah. Yeah, and there's no football this week for you. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I touch a nerve with that?
No. No, your team
My
is
team's still in it.
until next week.
Until next week? We'll see about that. I think they can beat New England.
Yeah, okay, whatever, buddy.
Okay.
I bet you Sean would have something to say about that.
I'll bet you next Sunday night, you and I are going to be talking about how the Chiefs went in there and kicked their ass.
I would not be sad if they did. I would be pleasantly happy if they did. I mean, I would be amazed and happy to hell if they did because I fucking hate them. But I don't think they're going to win. Sorry.
No. Okay. All right.
And that's me saying that I think the team that I hate the most is going to win. I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, so if you can't like New England if you live in Buffalo. You can't even say, "Oh, they're okay. Buffalo's out now. I'm going to root for New England." You
can't do that.
You'll get beat.
Yeah, you'll get beat down for that.
Right now, you could pick Miami or New York, who's in our division. That's fine, but you can't pick New England.
Didn't Miami beat New England?
I think so.
Last week or something?
I think so.
The last week of the season?
Well, it didn't matter to them. They don't. They do it the right way. At the end of the year, take out your guys and don't break them, don't hurt them. You already won your division thing, so why hurt somebody?
Right. Well, you know what? We're about out of time. I do want to remind everyone, Steve Kyle will be our guest next week from the band Rebel Train, and hope you can join us for that. If you're wondering, you can go to our Facebook page on Facebook. That's kgfrocks.com on Facebook. Also, you can go to our website and check out the schedule by going to the Conjugal Visits page, and you can listen to tonight's show right on the front page. All you have to do is click play. It'll be there. Tell your friends about us here, and hope that you can all join us, okay, in the future, and maybe your friends too, okay? So thanks a lot for coming along for the ride tonight. We do appreciate it. This is a free ride, and along with my good friend Guido, we're going to say we're out of here, man.
That's me.
It's me. I'm out of here, man.
Adios.
Adios, amigos. Adios. Goodbye. See you later. I love you.
Hasta la vista, baby.
It's Sunday night, and this is the Conjugal Visit on KGFRocks.com.